All right, Dennis, talking about the Indians for a minute here. They're right around the 500 mark here through the first 20 games or so. What's your early take on this?
Well, I mean, when you look at the positives, it starts and ends, to me, so far, with Michael Brantley. I mean, the fact that I did not think he was even going to see a major league field until May 1st at the earliest, and he's come out and he's playing almost regularly in April. And not only that, he looks, dare we say, just as smooth as he always has.
Dr. Smooth.
You know, I'm very impressed by Michael Brantley, and it is a great thing for him to be back. The Indians have to be thrilled. I think he's being managed, of course, correctly with a few off days here and there. But you know, that is the most optimistic scenario that has unfolded. That Michael Brantley is back and he's contributing. So even though the record is uneven, you still have an enormous positive there that you can point to. That you have an MVP candidate a couple years ago back in your lineup.
Besides Brantley, what about other positives? What are you looking at so far?
Well, Cookie Carrasco was another one who, you know, in spring training, he seemed to have an elbow that was barking a little bit, and his performances were a little bit uneven. But he's looked good, and he doesn't look like he has any issues with the arm, the elbow, the shoulder, whatever. So that's an encouraging sign as well, you know, in the rotation.
Okay. Any disappointments, or?
Well, of course, the record. I mean, you thought the Indians would be a little better at this point. There's no reason to panic. You're barely, you know, into this. You're not even out of the first month yet. But you know, a guy that puzzles me a little bit, and I wouldn't know that he's disappointing as much as Danny Salazar. What are the Indians going to get out of him? You know, is he ever going to lock in and become a consistent innings-eating starting pitcher? Because he flashes a lot of great signs and he piles up strikeouts, but unfortunately his pitch counts are high more often than not. He doesn't pitch deep into games, and he had an injury issue last year. So you wonder when, or if, I guess, are the Indians going to see a Danny Salazar who's capable of having the talent match the production, 200 plus innings, 30 plus starts. You know, we'll see. But so far it's been uneven.
All right, well, before the season, you endeared yourself to all the Indians fans when you picked the Tigers to win the AL Central. What do you think? Do you still see a race in the AL Central?
I do, you know, and listen, I didn't pick the Tigers because I wanted to get backlash or because I hate the Indians. I just felt like the Tigers needed to be taken seriously because they had a lineup that could mash. And right now the Tigers are treading water despite Miggy being on the DL and no J.D. Martinez. When they get all their pieces back, assuming they do, I think they're a dangerous offensive team, and I think they can run with the Indians, you know, into September, and that's why I picked them. But again, not because I hated the Indians or you know, I think the Indians are very good. I just didn't think they were going to run away and hide in the division.